What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. I went and talked about the top 5 squeeze stocks to add to your watch list for this upcoming week. Before I get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate it. And with that said, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, it is a full packed week, starting with Tuesday CPI. And I feel like CPI just came out like a week ago. Time's flying way too fast, but on Tuesday, CPI is going to be one to watch for. Like I've indicated in the past, the Feds rather look at PCE, but mainstream media and whatever else likes to look at CPI. So you'll see a hell of a lot of volatility surrounding that. And then Wednesday, there is PPI, and as well, the Feds are going to be making their decision. The last 2 weeks, there's been kind of arguments made for both cases that the Feds are going to be cutting rates and whatever else. So most likely they're going to keep the rates flat. But what is going to be said afterwards, that is going to dictate what the hell happens with the broader market, probably for the remaining part of the week. And then as well, if things don't get any better than that, on Thursday, there is retail sales. So like I said, a hell of a lot of opportunity for volatility. And when it comes down to companies unveiling their earnings, there's a couple heavy hitters such as Costco and Adobe, but in reality, whatever will happen to them will probably just be solely within that company or the sector. It won't really roll over into the broader market. So it's just going to be the data points that I did talk on that's going to be causing a lot of volatility. So today I'm going to be talking on the top 5 plus, similar to last week, a +1 as an extra side bonus. So I'm going to start obviously number 5 down. So number 5 is this, so the Lion Electric Company, tickers LEV. So this was on the list last week. Based on the 1 year, it is down 40.5%. Year to date, 18% in the red. Last 5 days, down 1.64%. And on Friday, 4.22%. But it's the data points. That's what you obviously care about. Based on Friday, they didn't actually do anything. So 17.83% of the free float is being shorted. 7.94 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is around 18.89%. So not necessarily the highest, but it is to note that cost to borrow minimum is negative 0.2%, meaning there is brokers out there physically paying people to short this company. So kind of interesting. Through Interactive Broker, short availability does indicate that there is around 6,000 available shares to be shorted. So not that much ammunition if you kind of think about it. So once again, this stock is something to kind of watch for. In case you do not know what this company does, similar to last week, I was kind of just hovering over the profile. You can always just pause the video and just kind of read the profile and whatever else. And plus, if you want to do a little bit more of a deeper dive, you can go on their website and just take a look at what they do and just a lot more additional information. But based on this, I'm just going over the top 5 via Ortex, and how they kind of orient it is just based on this, so the short score. So short score in this company's case is 96.44, utilization is 90.17. But moving on to stock number 4, that is Beyond Meat. So ticker's BYND. So this one definitely is one that I like to bring up. Over the last 1 year, down 43.68%. Year to date, it is down 26%. Over the last 5 days, up 4%. And based on Friday, one's kind of flat, so no real change. But on a side note, if you are looking for a lot of good compiled information in one, take a look at Seeking Alpha Premium. I do have a 7-day free trial for you in the description below. So under Seeking Alpha, it does have like press releases, SEC filings, transcripts from previous earnings, presentations, side or fireside chats. It has absolutely everything. So highly recommend you taking advantage and just trying out the trial. It does have a lot of good information. But going over Ortex, so currently utilization is 100%. Short score is 96.46. From Friday, shorts did return about 345,000 shares. 44.74% of the free float is being shorted. That is very high. 27.58 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is very high as well, 256.05%. And through the Interactive Broker, short availability does indicate around 70,000 shares is available to be shorted. And since my last update, they have been rectified, so it's not on the threshold list anymore. So kind of interesting stuff when it comes down to that. Moving on to stock number 3, it is right here. SIEN, tickers SIEN. Over the last 1 year, down 74%. Year to date, 67%. Last 5 days, down 16.57%. and roughly around 7% or 7.35% on Friday. So as you can tell, I have been showing, I guess, the 5-day as well, just based on last video, and it is very hard to time a short squeeze. So obviously me going over these data points doesn't mean that there is going to be a definite squeeze this week, but it is something to note that you can kind of add to your watch list, just watch the data points behind the scenes and whatever else. But again, so stock number 3 is SIEN. Looking at the data points, utilization is 88.3%. Short score is 96.54. On Friday, shorts didn't really do too much, so that might be a little bit more of a glitch, but 14.98% of the free float is being shorted. 1.66 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 85.01. Interactive brokers, it does have around 70,000 shares available to be shorted. And moving on to stock number 2, this one's a new one. So this one really came up. It wasn't even in top 5 last time, but it is Rumble On Inc. Ticker is RMBL. So over the last 1 year, down 28.31%, year to date 24.52%. Over the last 5 days, down almost 9%, and on Friday it went up 1.11%. On a side note, this is what the company does right here. So obviously I've not really covered this company in the past. Kind of seems interesting, but yeah, do your own due diligence no matter what. But as you can kind of see, utilization is 100%. Short score is 97.39%. On Friday, shorts increased 15.49 thousand shares. 30.46% of the free float is being shorted. 2.06 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 40.25%. And through here, it does show around 40,000 shares is available to be shorted. Also, on a side note, if you do have any questions about anything I do bring up, what, for instance, utilization is and what the free float, like if you have any questions about any of this, let me know in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to break it down on what this all truly does mean. And then kind of moving on to this stock right here. So the number 1 stock is Serus. So ticker is SIRI, same as last week. Over the last 1 year, down 24.68% year to date, 19% over the last 5 days, down 2%, and over the last 1 day, it's about 1.5%. Similar nature, you can kind of see right here what they actually do behind the scenes, but utilization is 92.74%. Short score is 98.98%, so this is very, very high. Based on Friday, shorts increased to 511,000 shares. 28.27% of the free float is being shorted, and 175.59 million shares overall are being shorted, and roughly around 30,000 shares is available. So kind of interesting stuff. And if you are on Ortex, you can kind of just go it right here through here. So this is the top 5. Well, it kind of shows everything right here. So top 5 right here. 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗖𝗧 was in the top 5 last week, and then there's Microvision and whatever else. So I'm going to move on to my +1, so the bonus one, and that is right here. So West Rock Coffee Company, ticker is WEST. Over the last 1 year, down 32%. Year to date, it is down 30%. Over the last 5 days, up almost 2%, and on Friday, it went up 1.68%. This company, as you can kind of tell right here, and plus, I guess, based on the title, it's a coffee company, does many other things like that. And looking on their website, kind of cool. Nothing really crazy over the edge or whatever else. So it is what it is. But data points. So utilization is 76.14%. Short score is 87.32%. Shorts did return a very small amount, but around 4,000 shares on Friday. 18.63% of the free float is being shorted, and 5.53 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average isn't necessarily the highest either, with it being at 8.04%, and there's roughly around 100,000 shares available to be shorted. So in all of the stocks I did bring up, shorts are kind of overextended, and you can kind of tell that based on right here. So this one is very interesting. It was the top. It's obviously not the highest for cost to borrow, but there is a lot of shares being shorted, and with this data coming out about CPI, retail sales, Fed interest rates, definitely could have a nice squeeze on a lot of these stocks, assuming it goes to plan. So once again, let me know your thoughts on these stocks and what is your +1? What stock do you feel could squeeze this upcoming week? Do you think it's going to be the meme stocks such as GameStop, AMC, or whatever else? What's your thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo. Has been extended up until December the 31st. Sign up for an account with MULN MULN, throw $100 at it and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of that. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, I appreciate all of you watching.